Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Antigua and Barbuda recorded a slight increase in crime in 2021 over 2020. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Monday, 17th January 2022. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grand Anse will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. A slight increase in 2021 crimes compared with 2020 in Antigua and Barbuda. Jamie J. Roger of ABS News reports.
Police Commissioner Atlee Rodney is flanked by Deputy Commissioner Operations Albert Wade, Fire Chief Assistant Commissioner Elvis Weaver, Head of Traffic Assistant Superintendent Rodney Ellis, and other senior officers at Friday's media briefing. The Police Commissioner says there were slightly more crimes in 2021 than the 2,370 residents reported the year before.
In 2021, it has increased slightly to 2403, which is 33 more crimes were reported in 2021 than we had in 2020.
The Police Commissioner says acquisition crimes or stealing remain the most common offenses. He says residents sometimes make it easy for the criminals.
Because what we are discovering from the acquisition crime figures is that there is some level of negligence and there is a level of carelessness on property owners that allow persons using those opportunities to steal from them.
The Police Commissioner says people should try to be more vigilant and adopt crime prevention tips regularly provided by the police. Meanwhile, the top cop says the police have observed a few trends in last year's homicides, which increased from 9 in 2020 to 16 in 2021.
2021, we have 15 cases with 16 deaths. And a close analysis of those cases showed 2 areas of concern. 1, for the cases this year, there were allegations of mental health issues. And in 5 cases, there were allegations of domestic violence.
The Commissioner calls on Health Ministry and Social Services personnel to assist the police in addressing these issues. Meanwhile, there were 2,172 traffic collisions, a decrease of 56 compared to 2020, and 402 fire calls, which is 92 fewer than the previous year. Jamie J. Rocher, ABS News.
Countries are being urged by the Director of PAHO, Dr. Clarissa Etienne, to ensure that health workers have access to protective equipment and additional COVID-19 vaccine doses where available, as cases accelerate in the Americas. More in this Barbados Today news report.
Dr. Etienne said that the region's ability to respond to the current COVID-19 wave depends on the personnel that keep primary healthcare centers, clinics, and hospitals up and running.
While Dexter is still causing new infections in the Americas, based on current trends, Omicron is on track to become the dominant strain in our region. It also has led to a rise in reinfections even among those who are fully vaccinated. This new wave of infections, it won't be mild for our health systems, as the Omicron variant is already challenging our health workforce and limiting care for other diseases. In smaller island states, some hospitals were already strained by cases of the Delta variant, and now more hospitals face the prospect of being overwhelmed with cases. While Delta is still causing new infections in the Americas, based on current trends, Omicron is on track to become the dominant strain in our region. It also has led to a rise in reinfections, even among those who are fully vaccinated. This new wave of infections, it won't be mild for our health systems, as the Omicron variant is already challenging our health workforce and limiting care for other diseases. In smaller island states, some hospitals were already strained by cases of the Delta variant, and now more hospitals face the prospect of being overwhelmed with cases.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Is it a question of wrong approach to crime in Jamaica? This TVJ News report with Kalisha Williams explains.
It's the second prayer breakfast in St. Catherine since the start of 2022. It seems the police in the parish are pulling out all the stops to control the spiraling crime rate.
2022 will not be an easier year. It will be a difficult year.
And the murder figures can attest to that. Between January 1 to 11 this year, 47 murders were committed in the island. That meant about 4 Jamaicans lost their lives each day, a 17% increase compared to 40 murders committed during the corresponding time in 2021. In St. Catherine alone, 11 persons were killed.
We need to stop seeing people as statistics. The person was raped, the person was shot, the person was killed. Don't want to be counted as statistics. We need to find ways to prevent that. That's what we need to do.
For instance, Chairman of the Police Federation, Corporal Rohan James, believes more resources should be deployed to the force.
I heard many a times people are speaking about crime fighting. We cannot fight crime. We can only manage the issue of crime and criminality. And it can only be done with the resources placed appropriately in the hands of the Commissioner of Police so that he can appropriately deploy the resources to adequately address the citizens' needs.
Corporal James said successive administrations have robbed the JCF of the resources it deserved and have treated the men and women of the force with scant regard.
Had it been that the capital and the respect and the resources was placed in the appropriate place, then the partnership so desired by the citizens of this country that they would engender the service that they so deserve.
Member of Parliament for South St. Catherine Fitz Jackson, who was also speaking at the event, suggested another approach to controlling crime.
The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we tend to want to respond to the symptoms of crime and the result of crime rather than the cause of crime. We have to fix the problem where it starts. And it starts with the attitude, how we socialize.
The prayer breakfast also featured a commander's parade during which several members of the force were awarded for their service in 2021. Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
The position of Guyana's opposition leader and party leader of the People's National Congress reform is still under discussion, according to the recently elected party leader Aubrey Norton. Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana reports.
In the world of politics, despite that decision of the Central Executive Committee of the People's National Congress to have the recently elected leader Aubrey Norton go into Parliament and be made the opposition leader, the party is still discussing the issue internally, Mr. Norton said today. Opposition leader Joe Harmon and the recently elected party leader Aubrey Norton met earlier this week on the issue. Those meetings are expected to continue.
The party has taken a position that these issues will be discussed internally And once we deal with those issues, we will together say to the public what the situation is. You would agree that it is not in the best interest of a political party for the details of such issues to be in the public domain before we thoroughly discuss and agree.
Mr. Harman initially held the view that the leader of the PNC Reform and the leader of the opposition should be the same person. The People's National Congress Reform is the largest party in the coalition. But following Mr. Harman's defeat at the party's Congress last month, he advanced a new position that the party's internal election could not dictate whether he is removed as opposition leader, since he was elected to that position following the national elections. Today, Mr. Norton continued to dodge questions of his own interest in becoming the country's opposition leader to enhance his political profile. He said he will be guided by the party's leadership in that regard.
I think I've been elected by the membership of the People's National Congress Reform. They're comfortable with the work I'm doing. I will continue to do the work. I'll be guided by the party leadership as we proceed into the future.
The position of opposition leader is a constitutional one that is voted on by the opposition members of Parliament. Those same opposition members can also move a vote of no confidence against the opposition leader. The leader of the list for the coalition is former President David Granger. That list leader is the person with the power to appoint persons to and recall persons from the National Assembly.
Former LIAT workers are planning to protest in coming days as they press for their EC $120 million or $44.4 million in entitlements due to them since being severed almost 2 years ago. Barbados executive member of the Leeward Islands Airline Pilots Association, LIALPA, Ariane Blanchard, made the disclosure on ZDK Radio in St. John's. The approximately 500 former employees of the cash-strapped regional carrier, which is under administration and currently operating limited flights, have been agitating for their rightful due since losing their jobs when the COVID-19 pandemic curtailed travel and impacted LIAT's bottom line. Prime Minister Gaston Brown has offered a compassionate settlement of 50% of the ex-airline workers' severance payable in cash, lands and bonds, or a combination of those options. Blanchard said while Brown had offered what would be his fair share, which is 35% entitlement, which is also equal to 50% severance, the problem is that he is trying to take all the charter rights for that amount. Apart from Brown's offer to the former LIAT staff, the Barbados government, the carrier's largest shareholder, gave the just under 100 displaced Barbadian workers of LIAT a one-off gift of $2,000 Barbadian dollars, US $1,000, and that same amount monthly, which is to be paid back at a future date from any eventual severance settlement.
Conveniently located in the Grand Ann Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair granaries will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.